The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Stadium in St. Petersburg, Florida. WGN is proud to present Chicago White Sox baseball. This afternoon, it's the White Sox versus Joe Torre's St. Louis Cardinals. And hi, everybody, and welcome to St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm Ken Harrelson, along with Tom Paciorek, as the Sox get ready to take on the Cardinals in this, their last spring training exhibition game from Florida. Sox coming in with that record of 4-6, Wimpy. But this afternoon, young Jason Bray on the hill.
Yeah, Jason Bray's been one of the real bright spots in the White Sox spring so far. Hawk, he's 1-0 with a 1.52 earned run average. The great thing that he has given up just 3 hits in 6 innings, striking out 7 while walking just 2. So hopefully another good outing for Jason this afternoon against the Cardinals.
And it will be the left-hander Alan Watson for St. Louis. And after this ball game, the Sox will depart, come north, back home to Chicago. So stay tuned. White Sox baseball coming your way, and we'll be back with the starting lineups right after this.
Chicago White Sox baseball on WGN. Brought to you by Cold Filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place. Your local Ford dealer. See 5 of the top 10 selling vehicles in America at your local Ford dealer. Coca-Cola, always a hit, always Coca-Cola. Aflac, insuring over 38 million people worldwide. Menards, helping you build America's heartland. Your Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana Toyota dealers. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. AT&T for the life of your business. And by Southwest Airlines at convenient Midway Airport, the official airline of WGN TV Sports. Fly Southwest, the low-fare airline.
Welcome back to Al Lang Stadium in St. Petersburg, Florida, for this, the final spring training exhibition game from Florida. As the second baseman, Ray Durham, will lead it off to face the southpaw, Alan Watson. Durham on the spring, having a good one, hitting at .344, no homers. He's knocked in 1. 23-year-old switch hitter. And certainly could be a big addition to the Sox ball club. There's a fastball strike from Watson. 330 down each line here at Al Lang Stadium. 388 in the gaps and 400 straightaway center field. Wind blowing briskly in from right. There's that pitch up high, fakes the bunt, takes the ball, and the count moves to 2-1. And for all our Greek friends out there, Christos Anesti. Happy Easter. 3 balls and a strike to Durham. Tim Raines on deck. And the big hurt, Frank Thomas in the hole. So as we mentioned at the top, Sox 4-6 on the spring. Cardinals have played 9 times. They have won 4 of them. There's a shot, base hit, right back through the middle. So good speed aboard. Durham, who has averaged 28 stolen bases in his first 5 professional seasons.
And the starting lineups following Ray Durham is Tim Raines in left field. The big hurt once again at first base, bats third. Middle third of Mike Devereaux in center field. Paco Martin in right and Craig Graybeck at third. The bottom third has Spanky LaValliere behind the plate, Ozzie Guillen at shortstop, and Ron Karkovice as the DH. They're going to rotate DHs for the Cardinals this afternoon. Gilkey Langford in battle in the outfield for the Cards. Cooper Smith, Heeman, and Perry, the infielders. Schaefer and Alan Watson, the battery.
Here's Tim Raines, fouls the first pitch away. Rock on the spring hitting at .438. No homers, he's knocked in 3. So something the Sox not featured a whole bunch of in the past. A couple of switch hitters at the top of the order.
That's right. That's great. You know, the thing that I really loved about that at bat from Durham, he was very patient. He got a high fastball. He tomahawked that baby. He got his hands up above the ball and just smoked it up the middle.
As we talked about in our previous telecast, Wimpy, it's a situation that Durham just appears to be one of those guys who always is on base. So if that's the case with his speed, Could bode well for the Pale Hose.
Yes, sir. Timmy Raines move him around for that guy in the on-deck circle.
Boy, that's close to being a balk right there, especially the first one. Veteran Gerald Perry holding on Durham. So Alan Watson, 6'3", 190 pounds, 24 years old, out of Middle Village, New York. Last year won his first 6 games with the Cardinals before winding up with that 6-5 record. Best pitch when he is right is the good change. I can see why now with that. He's got a good fastball.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be overpowering, as you saw Durham get up on top of that 3-1 heater.
He goes up there at 90, according to the Cardinal people. You can throw 90 and you can have a good change to go along with it.
Yeah, that's true. You don't really need a whole lot other than those 2 pitches. Of course, he struggled last year, 5.22 earned run average, so somebody's obviously hitting him
hard.
Yeah.
Durham fakes, does not go. Pitch shanked. Shanked. Wimpy, right side, and out of play.
I haven't used that word very often lately. I haven't played.
That's the reason you hadn't used it. The
That's
only
right.
reason. The big hurt Frank Thomas on deck.
You know, that should be a 4-letter word. Numbers on Alan Watson, 0-1 with a 5.68 earned run average in 1 start. 3rd appearance, 6 in the 3rd, giving up a lot of hits at 10. 5 strikeouts to go with 3 walks.
I almost threw that one away. Boy, indeed, it will be nice to get back home. Tomorrow night, exhibition game with the Cubs at Comiskey Park. And on Tuesday, 1 o'clock afternoon start at Wrigley Field before the opener at County Stadium on Wednesday. And throughout the telecast, we'll be showing you our schedule of games right here over WGN. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Raines. Well, as you know, the Sox, well, all clubs are going to be coming off the 28th. The Sox at this particular time have 31 on their roster, and all of them are pitchers. As far as the extra guys go, as there's a little check swing foul.
Good changeup right there. Timmy way out in front of it. So what do you think?
There'll be 3 pitchers that will be going off the current 31-man roster. And they'll bring everybody probably north after the ball game this afternoon for those 2 exhibition games with the Cubs. Boy, being on the bubble at this point is no fun.
Darn right it's not.
Another foul out of play right side. Al Lang Field. Boy, what a tradition this ballpark has had over the years. I know when I was a kid, my first spring training with Kansas City, coming over here and saying number 6. The guy who's with you in the Polish Hall of Fame outfield, Stan Musial. He was here on this field.
Very close personal friend. Yeah, that must have been a thrill being on the same field with him.
Oh, I'll tell you, Wimpy, it was I think it was his last year or next to last year. And I never will forget coming out of the dugout, and the Cardinals were taking batting practice, and Musial was standing right by the cage wearing that number 6, and I just had to go up, speak to him, and that's high. There's a throw to second base, and they get Ray Durham. Very close play. Nice pickup by Scott Heeman on a nice throw by Danny Schaefer.
Well, naturally, with the left-handed pitcher and Watson, Durham's not going to get his usual good jump, as you can see, looking up to see if the ball's put in play like a good base runner would, the straight leg slide. But the key right there was Danny Schaefer's quick release. And, of course, Watson keeping him a little bit closer than a right-hander would. Wow. I thought he was in there.
He was. As that's ball 4.
So what'd you say to Stosh? Hamana. You were Ralph
Cramden,
huh?
I just went up to him, you know, and he was standing on his bat. And, you know, they had a pretty good year before in the Eastern League, and so my picture had been in the Sporting News several times, and I just won the Players Golf Tournament, so he recognized me. He says, Hawk, how are you? I said, Mr. Musial, Ken Harrelson, how are you? Big Frank goes through the heater. Thomas, as usual, having a slow start in the spring, hitting at .238, no homers, but 2 RBIs.
He'll probably make the club, though, so don't worry.
Yeah, he won't be one of those 3 guys that's cut.
He's not on the bubble?
No, he's not on the bubble.
Sure, he never had to worry about being on that bubble like I did. Uh-oh.
That's hit hard in the left field.
Get up.
Bernard Gilkey is back. He's there. Makes the catch on the line shot by Thomas, and that's out number 2.
And the wind did not help that ball, and it's 388 in the gaps. You're not going to see many ballparks that long in the power alleys. Al Lang, tough ballpark to hit in as a rule. Keep swinging, Frank. Wow, fastball pretty much right down Broadway. Didn't get any elevation right there. That was the key.
Well, if he gets it up, it's out of here.
You probably hit a few balls in the bay here, didn't you?
1.
Well, that's foul territory, though, isn't it?
No, it was fair. Had a big wind blowing out this way, and I hooked it right around the foul pole.
Ah. Jeez.
Mike Devereaux having a slow start. 3 for 18 on the spring. You know, talking about not many home runs being hit out of here. Of the total complement of players on the current roster that's going to be going north with St. Louis, they have 1 home run on this ball club.
This spring.
Yeah.
Well,
that ball hit hard in the right field as Alan Watson, who was with the Sox last year in spring training, makes the catch. That'll retire the side. Sox with a hit, 1 left after half inning of play. It's the Sox nothing, and the Cardinals coming up.
No score, bottom of the first inning here at Al Lang Stadium in St. Petersburg. And here is Joe Torre's lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals this afternoon. Leading off in left field, Bernard, innocent until proven guilty. He plays left field. The Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith, plays shortstop. Hits second. Ray Langford in center field. Bats third. Middle third of the lineup has Scott Cooper at third base, Gerald Perry at first, and Scott Heyman, the former White Sox player, at second base. Alan Battle, also a former Sox, is in right field. Danny Schaefer behind the plate, and Alan Watson on the hill for the Cardinals.
Here's Gilkey.
As you mentioned, Hawk, but that ballpark of theirs is just not built for home run hitters.
Yeah, but they've always had 1 guy, so to speak, in that lineup. You know, there for a while it was Jack Clark.
Yeah.
Guerrero.
True.
Cepeda. Always had usually a first baseman, as that's ball 4, that's been able to crank out, you know, 25 home runs a year for him and knock in 90 or 100.
They haven't had that recently. Darrell Porter hit home runs for him from the catcher position.
Here's a 39-year-old veteran, 13-time All-Star, Ozzie Smith. Ozzie hitting .333 on the spring. How many highlight films has this guy made? Fakes the bunt and takes the ball.
He's incredible. He still made the best play I've ever seen by a human. Jeff Burrows, when he was with San Diego, when Ozzie was very young, hit a shot up the middle, just a rocket. And Ozzie was diving. He was already fully extended, and the ball hit a rock and went over his right shoulder, and he caught it barehanded. Got up in one motion and threw him out. It was just incredible.
He says that's the best play ever made.
Yeah. Yeah, I was there. Seen a lot of great events over the years, Hawk, and unfortunately I was sitting in one of those dugouts when they all happened. Aaron's record-breaking homer. I was sitting
You
in the
didn't have
dugout.
to pay to get into the game.
No. What a thrill. And while we have a moment, let's check out the Sox on defense. The outfielders, Tim Raines, Mike Devereaux, and Paco Martin, Craig Graybeck, Ozzie Guillen, Ray Durham, and the Big Hurt are the infielders, Spanky LaValliere and Jason Beret, the battery this afternoon.
Short lead by Gilkey, and the 2-0 pitch to Smith misses. Wow. Old aches and pains Luke Appling. There's a strike. No score, bottom of the first if you just joined us. There's a shot. Look at the play by Frank Thomas. Steps on the bag. A bullet off the bat of Ozzie Smith. Ozzie just yelling something over at the Big Hurt.
That was awesome right there. Just a rocket off the bat of Ozzie Smith. He dialed it up for the 3-1 fastball and hooked it. Gilkey in motion. Look at this. Inside corner. Ozzie knows how to hit. He takes advantages of counts. Frank Thomas, I'll tell you what, that was a brilliant play by the Big Hurt. Hello.
Here's the center fielder, Ray Lankford, hitting .231 on the spring. No homers. He's knocked in one. Well, on something like that, Ozzie, you know, had to be telling, hey, you're supposed to hit, not catch.
Yeah, Ozzie's telling him, too, don't you hit anything on the left side of the infield, Frank.
I'm going to suck it up.
Yeah.
Just a normal lead at second by Gilkey as that fastball misses, and the count runs to 2-0 on Lankford.
Well, Lankford had a power element last year, Hawk. Bit surprising looking at his number. He had 19 homers, 57 driven in. That certainly led that ball club.
Lankford in his 5th year in the major leagues hits that one foul. .267 hitter last year, and as Wimpy mentioned, with those 57 ribbies, stole 11 bases.
Yeah, he's better than that from an average standpoint, especially in that ballpark. If you're a good line drive ground ball hitter in St. Louis, you're going to get a few extra points on your batting average. Particularly the outfield is going to have to play it deeper so you can shank them in front of them too. Good concept, huh?
It's a great concept. Bit of a gap in left center field as a 2-1 delivery. Oh, yeah. There's the off-speed pitch, and the count evens at 2. That's hard to believe, though. Major league team and 9 games in spring training, only 1 home run.
Oh, that counts other places too, huh? They didn't play them all here.
No.
I'd say if they played them all here, they'd have a pretty good excuse. They're all gap hitters. At 388, that's pretty much what it is at Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
Well, I think they played about 5 or 6 of their games in Bradenton.
Wow. They ought to be caned for that.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Now time is called. Fred Schaff behind the plate. John Flores at first, and Chuck Crandall at third. Those are the men in blue this afternoon. Good pitch by Beret, right in on the fist.
Well, speaking of men in blue, any word on the umpire situation?
Just what I read in the papers.
Yeah, I haven't really heard.
I think everybody knows as much as everybody else in that respect. Ray, a long set. Now the 2-2. Curveball high into left field. Tim Raines fighting that wind. Now has to come back. Makes the catch, and that's out number 2. That'll bring up the third baseman, the cleanup hitter, coming over from the Boston Red Sox, Scott Cooper.
See the numbers on Jason Beret, they're great. 1-0 with a 1.50 earned run average in 2 starts. 3 hits allowed in 6 innings. He walked his 3rd man to lead off this ball game, and he struck out 7, so he is throwing the ball extremely well. Key for Jason is to pitch ahead in the count.
Why? He never has, and he's 24-7 lifetime.
He'll be better. Just think how much better. How many more innings he'll be able to pitch, save some of those bullets.
He didn't go a whole bunch of innings last year.
Well,
that breaking ball high. How many did he average?
Well, just over 5, and as big and strong as he is, with that youthful exuberance that he has, with the great stuff, he's got to be able to average more than that. But I think the number of pitches has always kind of dealt him in. 80 walks.
Well, it's amazing how he has pitched 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, ball 4, and he's still 24-7. As that's high in the right field. Paco Martin, he's surrounding it. He's there. He makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across after 1 inning of play from St. Petersburg. No score. A beautiful afternoon here in St. Petersburg as we get set to move to the top of the 2nd inning. No score. For the Sox, it'll be Martin, Graybeck, and LaValliere. Paco hitting at .316 on the spring, a homer. He's knocked in 2. That fastball outside. And before we show you our picks to click this afternoon, you at home select yours. There's a chopper. The Wizard is there. Ozzie over to Perry. 1 gone. And let's check out our picks to click. Skip Ellison, our producer director and the crew, they went with Norberto Martin. Wimpy's going to go with little Craig Graybeck. I'm going to go with Karkovice, the DH today. Here is Graybeck. Homer, 4 RBIs on the spring. Good off-speed pitch. Well, Graybeck seen some duty. He's played 19 innings at 3rd this spring. Played 25 at short. And he has played 14 at 2nd.
And he'll get some duty. Of course, Robin, hopefully he's okay. Talking to some of the White Sox people earlier, he had a little bit of a problem with his hand diving for a ball the other day. So going to let that heal a day or so. He was really swinging the bat well, Ventura.
One and 2 the count. Fouls that fastball back. Once again, a reminder that Sox will board their charter after this afternoon's ball game, come back home, and tee it up tomorrow night against the Cubs at Comiskey Park. You see that's a 7 o'clock start. On Tuesday at 1 o'clock from Wrigley Field in the season opener at Milwaukee. Then Thursday, season opener at home. And Friday, we open up in Boston.
Perfect.
The pitching matchups in that Cubs series. Tomorrow night it'll be Wilson Alvarez for the Sox and Jamie Navarro for the Cubs. And on Tuesday it'll be James Baldwin at Wrigley Field against Frank Castillo.
I think that's a good acquisition for the Cubs.
Get a shot base hit in the center field.
God, you know what it means? Absolutely nothing. Am I good at pick to click?
Yeah.
Killed you guys all spring.
Yes, you have, Duke. It's the same way it is on the golf
counting
course. When, you know, the putt doesn't count, you make them all.
Right. Boy, Graby just ropes this one. Side angle. See that weight shift. Get up on that front foot. That back heel comes off the ground. It's a fastball out over the plate. He just gets those arms extended.
LaValliere fouls the fastball back out of play. He's still looking for his first hit this spring. 0 for 7.
Anyway, getting back to Navarro, we've always marveled at his stuff with the Brewers, but it just seems like Jamie always just pitched good enough to lose, and then he'd have a bad inning, and then his numbers would look really awful.
That's inside 1-1. Well, in my opinion, if somebody can get through to him, Jamie Navarro, he got a chance to win an 18-20 ball game.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of ability.
Great stuff. Well, we'll check him out tomorrow night in a different uniform. Maybe a change of leagues, a change of cities. Do him some good.
Outfield short, swung around to the left. There goes Graybeck on the move. One hopper, Scott Cooper. He's on the move over to Gerald Perry. And that's out number 2. So the Sox with a hit and run on. And indeed, Gene Lamont signs Julio Franco. They'll have to do more of that this year.
Yeah, that's right. Lavalier's a good hit and run man, too. Even with the lefty versus lefty matchup, he's going to make contact. Not going to strike out a whole lot. But you're right, he's going to have to do a lot more little things this year. Put runners in motion, not necessarily the fastest guys, but get that hitter to swing the bat also. Sox are blessed with a bunch of good contact hitters, and that'll help that cause.
Here's Ozzie. Hitting .304 this spring. Takes a breaking ball outside. Outfield really short for us.
Jeez.
Ray Langford, the center fielder, way in, as is Gilkey in left.
It's like the 9th hitter on the Little League, the way they're playing Ozzie.
There's a ground ball right side. Scott Heeman, former Sox catcher, picks it up, throws him out, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. It was a hit, no errors, one left. And after an inning and a half, no score. White Sox 1995 home opener is against the Milwaukee Brewers on Thursday, April 27th at 6:05 p.m. with the season's first fireworks show following that ball game. And all opening day tickets are discounted and still available by calling 312-831-1SOX or by stopping by the Comiskey Park box office from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekends. Here's Gerald Perry, hitting .222 on the spring. Last year, Gerald, .254 hitter, 11 homers. He knocked in 34. Check that, he had .325 last year for the Cardinals. That was Geronimo Pena, who had .264.
Good numbers, only 77 at bats, so you can see how good a pinch hitter he is, appearing in 60 games last year. He's valuable.
Good fastball strike. Perry did not like the call from Fred Schaff. And the count 1-2. He's about your age, 34.
34, yeah. Geez, Gerald's been around a long time. This is 11th season in the major leagues. A lot of years with the Braves, but I think he spent more years now with the Cardinals.
The 2-2. That's high in the center field. That's a can of corn. Mike Devereaux.
Well, the ball's coming down like a parachute this afternoon. Get him to hit in the air, and you got a good chance of getting them out. Middle of the diamond. That's why there's no homers hit here. You got to have hair on the bottom of your feet to hit one out of here this afternoon.
You do?
Yeah.
Here's Scott Heeman, the second baseman. Scott on the spring hitting at .231 last year with the Oakland A's. Heeman hit .222, 3 homers, and knocked in 20.
Steve Sachs called him Fred Flintstone.
Saxy.
Pretty good nickname.
Bray pours the strike over, and the count evens at 1.
Well, you don't see too many catcher second base combos, you know, in
Not
the
a whole
major
bunch.
leagues.
I was checking some of the positions you played. You played a whole bunch of them.
Ho, ho. Darn right. All very mediocre, too.
Hey, it was nice to see Jim Abbott having 5 good innings yesterday.
Yeah, that's important.
First couple of times out, Jimmy did not throw the ball that well.
You think he was honing?
That's what you got to do in spring. I told you he'd learned something from that game against Texas his first time out. There's a base hit by him and in the center field. Wimpy, remember that you always learn more from adversity than you do from success.
Right. You're not as bad as you think you are.
Exactly. That's the whole concept. Here's Alan Battle, a right fielder, hitting .320 on the spring. He's knocked in 5. Battle last year at Louisville hit .313, 6 homers, knocked in 69 to go along with 23 stolen bases.
Wow.
Pretty good hook right there, a little high, and the count 1-0. Outfield straight up, spread out. Graybeck off the line, even with the bag at third. And Scott Heeman, you got to keep an eyeball on him. He will steal a base. Battle fouls the fastball back. It's 1-1. Some of the non-roster players on the Cardinal ball club invited to spring training include pitchers Chris Carpenter, Tony Fossas, Paul Kilgus, Jeff Parrott. Infielders Darnell Coles, Manny Lee, and Luis Rivera. Quick step off by Bure. There goes Heeman. Sawyer can't get it out. Still be a stolen base for the second baseman, Scott Heeman.
Good pitch to throw on right there, too. Fastball pretty much center cut. I don't know if a hit and run play was on or not, but Battle not able to make contact. They would have had a good shot at Flintstone.
The 1-2 pitch. He's gone. Yes.
That's some high octane right there. Upstairs, Battle couldn't get to that one.
Not a whole bunch of guys are.
Oh, that letter high heater, especially that. Got to think it's about 95 miles an hour from Bure. Great pitch to Don.
Here's the catcher, Danny Schaefer, hitting .364 on the spring. Smokes that one, base hit in the left field. They're going to wave Heeman around as Raines gets to it. Weak throw off the mark. Heeman will score as Schaefer into second, and the Cardinals lead it 1-0.
He didn't waste any time. Let's see the first pitch fastball. Boy, I'll tell you, he got on top of that. Watch his hands get above the ball right here. Nice job of high ball hitting by Schaefer. And we know that Tim Raines does not have a strong throwing arm from left field. You're going to score that guy every time, especially with 2 outs. And with the bad throw, the runner does get to second base.
That'll bring up the DH for St. Louis, Brian Jordan, out of Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Hello.
Brian last year with the Cardinals hit .258, 5 homers, knocked in 15.
Well, they traded Mark Whitten for Scott Cooper so they could move Todd Zeile over to first base and give Brian Jordan an opportunity to play every day. So it's going to be his first chance. They had 4 guys that they played a lot in the outfield last year, but Jordan's going to get a chance to play every day.
Check swing strike and the count 0-2.
I'll tell you, this guy was some kind of hitter on a football field. He played for the Falcons. He was a strong safety, and he would knock you silly.
He would?
Yeah.
He's 28 years old. 6'1", 205.
No, 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 no. O'Brien's at least 220 pounds. He's in great shape, too.
Got some arms on him, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a fellow bodybuilder.
Come on, Brian. Put hitter right here.
The 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the bottom of the second. How about the Bears yesterday? In their first pitch.
Man, how can the Heisman Trophy guy be around that long? Big, strong guy like that.
There's a ground ball foul down the Grayback. I was shocked. I had to go someplace after the first 3 picks I watched, and then I came back, which seemed to be 3 or 4 hours later.
Yeah.
Finally getting to the Bears. And I saw where they picked up Salam, and I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, big, strong guy like that. How can he be around to, what was it, 20th pick? 21st, I believe, yeah. Some other running backs were taken before him. Good pick, though, for the Bears.
Hung him a curveball. That's fair. Extra bases. Schaefer will score. Jordan in the second, and it's 2-0 St. Louis. Now the ball gets away from everybody as Jordan will move into third. A hanging curveball from Jason Beret.
Well, he had 2 strikes on him, and he did not fool Jordan. Watch him keep his hands back. He double clutched a little bit right there, but the pitch was upstairs above the belt. He smokes it into that corner. It's a nice job of hitting, take advantage of a mistake. And let's see what happens here. Well, Ozzie can't get the relay, so there will be an error allowing Jordan to get the third. E7.
Here's the leadoff hitter, Bernard Gilkey. Drew a walk last inning. Gilkey last year hit .253. A little check swing fly ball right field. Paco Martin can't get there on the excuse me base hit by Gilkey. Jordan scores. 3-0 Cardinals.
All these runs coming with 2 outs here in the second inning. Oh, a little bit of luck right there for Gilkey. He was fooled by the breaking ball, and he just stuck his bat out in front of Martin. Paco, not normally an outfielder, wasn't able to come in and make the play. So 3-0 Cardinals.
Here's a shortstop, Ozzie Smith. Takes a fastball inside. He was robbed of extra bases last inning on a brilliant play by Frank Thomas at first. He just smoked one down the line if you just joined us. And with Gilkey on the move, Big Frank made a diving play back to his left and stepped on the bag. To another count. And Wimpy, you said something last inning that is so true. Watching Ozzie on television play, he probably uses the count just about as well as anybody.
I'll tell you, Ozzie Smith can pull the ball with authority when he gets a favorable count, like this one right here.
There goes Gilkey. High throw. Well, the Cardinals were their second stolen base of the inning. Did not get a good jump.
No, he was like spinning his wheels right there. Looked like a pretty good opportunity. LaValliere comes out of the chute. You can see the throw very high. They had him on a good one.
They may have him right here, but another high throw from LaValliere.
Here's that same 3-1 count that we talked about earlier with Ozzie Smith. See if he'll dial it up right here and try and pull something. Sox outfield swung around the left field. Not moving with the count.
Chopper. Beret has it. Over to Big Frank. That'll retire the side. But 3 runs cross the plate on 4 hits, 1 error. 1 left, couple of stolen bases. And after 2, it's 3-zip Birds. Caroline's tail of the tape here in the top of the 3rd. 3-4-0 for the Cardinals. 0-2-1 for the good guys. Southpaw Alan Watson, who was their first-round draft choice back in the 1991 free agent draft. He will face Karkovice. And the Sox turn it over, go back to the top of the order. Ray Durham and Tim Raines. Kark hitting .294 on the spring. Fastball, a little tardy, popped up right side. That wind's got it, and it will take it out of play.
Amazing wind right there.
It is. Why? Why would
Lordy.
you call this an amazing wind?
Well, it's just pushing everything. So, you know, there's just, like I said, you're going to have hair on the bottom of your feet to hit one out of here today. And the wind is just pushing the ball all over the place. The fly ball that hit the Raines earlier in this ball game started off way over in left center field. Like one of your power draws, you know?
Right. There's a strike in the count, 0-2. Well, from that shot right there, occasionally you will see a little bit of movement only because the wind's blowing so hard. Cameraman in center field just can't do anything with it. Well, the wind gets blowing hard, and those cameras would be like horses. Were you an equestrian? Was that behind you guys?
No.
The horse see that thing coming, he'd start giving you a little bit of problem.
That's true. You want to ride me?
Did you ever ride any horse?
No. No, that reminds me of the time, though, that Booter, one of the cruises the White Sox took, they're riding those horses in the mountains in Mexico, and Scotty Fletcher told me the story about Booter and Luzinski were riding those horses, and they were kind of skinny horses. They weren't really fed well.
No.
They got to the top of the hill, and that horse that Bull was carting Bull around looked just exhausted. His head was dragging down to the ground, and Booter looked at him and says, "Hey, Bull, why don't you get down and let that horse ride you a while?"
Had a couple of big guys, boy. Bulzer, that pitch fouled back, and the Booter boy.
Oh, they were dressing out about 3 and some change each.
Easy. Bull looks great now. So in the spring, lost a lot of weight.
Good for him.
Looks terrific.
Booter's going to get in shape next year.
That ball smoked into left field. Way back. Gilkey takes it 1 hop off the wall. As Karkovice.
Good call, Hawkster. Boy, that's a good swing on a high fastball from Kark. Normal day, that ball's got to be way out of here.
That wind just knocked that ball down.
Yeah, a little top spin on it. Watch the swing. Kark dialing it up. High heater up and out over the plate. Those arms out. Boy, he got that contact out in front. Big key right there. Make use of that power.
Here's the second baseman, switch hitting Ray Durham. Well, he smoked a bullet back into center field for a base hit. Looks at the ball. This guy right here, got to be a big key for the Sox success in '95. But he's got to do it defensively. He is still errorless this spring. Trying to shoot that one to the right side. And the count 1-1.
Get him over for Raines. He's very quiet at the plate.
Looks at the ball, sees the ball very well.
Yeah. Just a little bit of movement with his hands, but that head is staying very still from what we have seen of him in the spring.
Outfield straight up. Pitch misses and the count 2-1. And a reminder, on Sunday, May 7th, the Sox play the Kansas City Royals at 1:05. All kids ages 14 and under attending that game will receive White Sox milk caps courtesy of all the good folks at Coca-Cola. So for tickets, just dial 312-831-1-SOX. The good folks at Coke, Billy O'Rourke, Marvin Hurd. Good guys. Two-one delivery. A little tardy on that high heater. Of course, as we talked about earlier, Al Lang Field, which stadium now, we used to be called Al Lang Field, where the Cardinals had spring training, not too far from here. Miller Huggins Field, where the Yankees had spring training.
Well, the Mets were sharing this field for a long time before they got that great place in Port St. Lucie.
This is before the Mets.
The Yankees were here,
yes,
huh?
Miller Huggins Field, sure. Play their games here at Al Lang Stadium. A lot of tradition.
Yeah, the Mets had Casey Stengel Field.
Maybe I remember that where the new hotel is behind the right field out there now. It used to be an old hotel there. It's where a lot of the ball players stayed. And you're talking about some war stories over the years.
Oh, I'll bet you.
That we were reminiscing a little bit prior to the game as there's a ground ball left side. Two-hopper. Nice play by Scott Cooper right over the top, and they do not get Ray Durham. He can get it.
That's a base hit right there. Tough hop there for Cooper. Saw him play last year, of course, with the Boston Red Sox. And Ray Durham showed his speed, especially from the right side of the plate. Getting down that line. That had some top spin on it. Kind of an in-between hop. Watch Cooper. He's starting to charge, and then he backs up on it and gets that tough in-between hop. He checks the runner, and by that time...
Too late.
Whew. Smoking down the line.
So Carcavise held his ground at second, and here's Tim Raines. He drew a base on balls in the first inning. Fakes the bunt, takes the strike. Breaking pitch.
Well, Ray Durham hit .296 last year at Nashville. Walked just 46 times, though, and well over 500 at bats. So one of the things I'm sure that Gene Lamont will want him to do is take a few pitches. Heck, get on there for the big guy.
Well, on the other side of that coin, though, you make him become a defensive hitter, he's liable not to hit.
Well, that's true
as well.
Yeah.
So there's a fine line that the manager and the coaching staff have to go over with each and every new individual coming up. The young players, they have to say, well, how far can we push him to become more disciplined without him becoming defensive rather than offensive? Most of the time, in most of the cases, they will let the guy go on his own for a while just to see how he's going to react. As that bunt popped up. Now Watson with a throw to second. Ozzie Smith, they double up Carcavise. So 1-6 double play.
Oh, boy. Well, Timmy looked like he was going for a base hit right here. If he got the runners in the scoring position, great, or moved them up a base. But Kark, just a little bit too anxious, not able to get back to the bag. That was a real strong throw by Watson. He just fired a laser to second base.
Here's Big Frank. He hit a laser into left field back in the first to Gilkey. Takes a fastball strike, 1-1. Well, there are a couple of options here that the Sox are going to have. And again, Ray Durham is one of those that the option hinges upon. If he can get on base, and whoever's going to be hitting that second spot. Today it's Tim Raines. You got a couple of switch hitters there. And they can do a pretty good job of getting on base, and it's going to be tough to pitch around Frank Thomas, because if you do, then at that point, you're going to have more base runners. On the other side of that page, if Durham is not able to have a good on-base percentage and or who is hitting second, then it's going to be a lot easier to go around Frank to get to whoever on this ball club is hitting fourth.
Absolutely.
So you can see just what a big factor that Ray Durham is going to play in the White Sox offense in 1995. High and out of play. You know, that's always been the countermeasure, so to speak, when people are talking about, well, who's going to hit behind so-and-so, in this case, Big Frank, to protect him. Well, yeah, there's always another side of that page. And the other side of the page, well, if you get guys getting on in front of him, then they can't go around him. Nice pick by Danny Schaefer. And the count evens at 2. I would say with the way the Sox lineup stacks up so far from what we've seen this spring, Wimpy, the leadoff hitter this year is going to be in a much bigger and prominent picture of adding to the total Sox offense. As that pitch fouled away. When you had Franco, it was no problem.
Yeah, it really didn't matter that much.
No. Took a lot of heat off the leadoff hitter and the number 2 hole hitter.
Well, don't you know those guys got some good pitches to hit too. Whew.
Watson with a 2-2. Up high. Full count to Big Frank. Now Perry lets Watson know he's going to play behind Durham at first. And that's ball 4. So Durham at second, Thomas at first. Devereaux coming up. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
And along with the Whimperoo, the Duke, Tom Paciorek. This is Ken Harrelson from Al Lang Stadium in St. Petersburg, Florida. Last game of the spring down here in Florida as Devereaux flies high to right. Allen Battle, he's a good outfielder. He's there, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. So the Sox have a golden opportunity. Cannot get home plate after 2.5. 3-0 St. Louis. Cardinals with 3 runs in the second inning. On top of the Sox, it'll be Langford, Cooper, and Perry to face Jason Beret. You just joined us. Cardinals with their 3 runs on all 4 of their hits, along with a couple of stolen bases last inning to put that tray on the board. Pitch high and the count 2-1. Now, what's your prognosis for the Central? Duker?
Oh, sure. Put me on the spot.
Oh, at the end of spring training. But you don't want to be a
National League
star? You don't
Central?
want to be a star?
I'll tell you
You don't
what.
want to hit fourth? That's high in the center field.
I'd rather hit fourth than make a prediction on the Central right now. I'll tell you what, Cleveland looks awful good to me. And on paper, I think I would have to say that Cleveland would be favored over the Sox.
Most people are picking Cleveland over the Sox.
But me, in my infinite wisdom, will go with the good guys in black. Got to think of a way to beat them, though. It's going to be tough.
I'm with you. I think that Cleveland is going to be very, very difficult to beat, but I also think that the Sox can do it. It's a roll, you know that. Whoever gets on that mental plateau, that roll, R-O-L-L, and can keep it sustained from more than the other team, that's who's going to win.
And I think in this shortened, abbreviated season, the team that stays healthiest of the two is certainly going to have a big advantage. You know, you just don't know how much they're going to be affected by the spring training or lack of it this season, especially from a pitching standpoint. I think Oral Hershiser's really going to have to help that Cleveland staff.
You do?
Yeah, he's good.
21 to count.
And he hasn't pitched to any of those trick pitches that he has acquired in the National League.
Oh, nice pitch by Beret. Didn't get it. And the count moves in Scott Cooper's favor, 2-1. He popped up to Paco Martin his first trip.
I'll tell you, a team that's really putting a lot of points on the board in the spring is Minnesota.
That's high in the right field. Paco Martin is there. Can of corn. Now, talking about the Indians, some guys they have added. Of course, from our ball club, Paul Osamacher, Bud Black, southpaw starter from the Giants, Jeremy Burness from the Mets, Hershiser from the Dodgers, and of course the veteran Dave Winfield, who will be playing against a lot of the left-handed pitching. These are the guys they lost.
Not much. The only guy on that list that I liked was Russell, if his arm is sound. And another guy very important on that, not on that list, was Dennis Cook. Cookie pitched great for us last year.
He pitched well against Cleveland.
Yeah, well, they reacquired him.
Perry can't get it, and the count 1-1.
No, they definitely made some improvements on their ball club.
Yeah. You look at the pickups of the Sox: Devereaux, Dave Martinez, Abbott, Chris Sabo, Ron Paul, Ron Dibble. Who's gone? McDowell, Osamacher, Joey Cora, Darren Jackson, and of course, the man, the big man, is departed, Franco.
Yeah.
Here's a 2-1. 3-1. A lot of people picking Minnesota third over Kansas City. I can't go along with that. Sure, the Royals lost a couple of good players, but they still got some pretty good pitching over there.
Oh, yeah. Well, Apier, Gordon.
High in the left field. Tim Raines will fight that wind. Wins the battle, and that'll do it. 1-2-3 inning for Jason Beret, first of his ball game, and after 3, he trails it 3-0. Beautiful shot of a little sloop over in the bay, just cruising around. Very breezy but lovely afternoon. Very comfortable here in St. Petersburg as we get set to go to the top of the 4th inning. Norberto Martin will lead it off. And to tell you about it, here's the Whimperoo.
Thank you, Hawkster. You can see the hit total even at 4, but the Cardinals have thrown some leather in this ball game. Norberto's going to lead it off. He has grounded out his first time up. There's one right back up the middle. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Alan Watson throws him out, and there's one gone.
And let's check out this afternoon's Aflac trivia question. Prior to Frank Thomas, who was the last player to win the AL MVP award in consecutive seasons?
Ooh, AL MVP award.
There's only been a few guys to win consecutive MVPs. He's the last one.
And Big Frank got his, like that heavyweight champ, putting his title on the line as Graybeck pops this one up right side. Blow, wind, blow. And it's out of here.
What are you scurrying through that book?
No, I
find out?
In the American League, huh? Let's see, Murphy and Schmidt in the National League. Joe Morgan there also. Roger Maris. And your pick?
Roger in 61 and 62.
No. Is that your guess too? There's fastball up high. 1-1 to Gravy. He hit a shot right back up the middle. Solid single his first time up. Alan Watson.
Roger in 62 came back and hit 42 home runs after that 61 and 61.
There's the Wizard calling everybody up. And the sure man takes it. 2 up, 2 down. And he still won the MVP with only 42?
I don't know. I'm assuming he did. I don't know if he did or didn't. I'm just going to go with
was
Maris.
it 60 and 61 that he won the MVP?
He had 61 homers in 1961. Came back with 42 in 62.
Well, I know he won the award 2 years in a row, and I think Mantle did too, but I think it was before Roger.
I don't know if Mickey
Yogi.
won it. Yogi
won it too.
Yogi is the guy. That's who I'm going to pick. Yogi.
Okay, I'll take Maris.
I'm going to go with the Yogmeister.
I think I know where they got that question. There's Lavalier takes the fastball up high. Spanky grounded out his only time up.
Forgot about Yogi winning it twice.
Yeah. There's one at every position. Good trivia quiz. We can play this as the game goes on. There's fouled off to the
at first base,
left
Frank
of the screen.
Thomas and Jimmy Fox.
Right. Second base. Joe Morgan. Grounded left side. The Wizard will take it to Hopper. Throws out Lavalier. We'll talk more about the MVPs when we come back. Sox 1-2-3 inning after 3.5. Trail it 3-zip.
3-0 Cardinals here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and let's check out today's Aflac trivia question and answer. Prior to Frank Thomas, who was the last player to win the AL MVP award in consecutive seasons, indeed it was Roger Maris in 1960 and 61.
That's it. And as we talked about last inning, the first baseman to win it, Frank Thomas and Jimmy Fox. Second baseman was Joe Morgan. The shortstop,
Ernie Banks.
Let's play 3. And the third baseman, Schmitty. As Scott Heeman leads things off for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Good breaking ball at the knees outside corner. So the outfielders would be Maris, Mantle.
Was it 56 and 57? Mickey won it?
50, yeah. Ooh, fastball just misses the inside corner.
Aaron had to be in there someplace. Or Mays.
No.
No.
Very close personal friend of mine, Dale Murphy.
Dale.
What a great player he was.
Musial never won it 2 years in a row.
No. Good quiet. Oh, there's a shank. Jam sandwich.
It's better to say who did not win it 2 years in a row.
Yeah. Boy, what a list that is, huh? The left fielder still active with 2 consecutive MVPs.
Winfield. Bonds won it.
Barry Bonds with the, of course, he's with the Giants now. He won in 92 and 93 with Pittsburgh. Oh, no. There's a good pitch. Nasty. 93 with the Giants. 92 with the Pirates. He's a 3-time award winner, I believe.
Want to see Nasty? There's Nasty.
Ooh. What was that? Like a fastball that really cut
like
to the outside.
Pitch.
Man. Jason doesn't usually throw that hook that hard, but it was a great one right at the knees outside corner. There's a hook right there, misses down.
So you're going to go into Central with the Sox, the Indians?
You are correct, sir.
How about the American League East?
The American League East is going to be a great race. Probably the strongest division in all of baseball. There's a strike. 1-1. I'm going to go up north. I think the Blue Jays are going to come back if Dwayne Ward is healthy and Danny Darwin pitches well.
Darwin's a big key for that ball.
Yeah.
If he has a good year, they can win it very easily. But I'm going to go with the Yankees and then the Blue Jays.
Yankees are tough. Blackjack's going to make every team, any team he pitches for, better. Wetland is a quality closer.
How about the West?
I'll tell you what, I like the Rangers based on what I saw the last game we did. Oh, he nailed him. Outside corner, bang. Alan Battle goes down for the second time. 3 strikeouts for Beret. And there's some red hot for you.
There's some giddy up right here, right on the outside part of the play. That's going to get a lot of them, Alan. Tip your cap right there, my man.
Hang with them. Who do you like in that? It's going to be pretty equal. Because with the exception of California, I don't think they're going to contend.
I'm going to go with Oakland.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Oakland and Seattle.
Oakland, then Seattle, and then Texas. I think that all three of them are going to be bunched. It'll be interesting. Ooh, Schaefer.
I'm going to have a proviso in there. That if the kid Alex Rodriguez stays on the ball club all year with Seattle, I'm going to go with them.
I don't think he will.
That's
That's only my opinion, though.
If he does, that of course would translate into him having a good year, because they're certainly not going to do anything to hurt that potential star.
Yeah.
And if he does have a good year, then they've got a good chance to win.
I'd love to see Lou win just because of Lou, you know. But it's going to be a tough battle in that division. I think the Rangers have improved their ball club considerably.
All divisional titles should be good this year.
Yeah. That's why I think that.
Let's go to the National League.
Okay.
What do you like in the East?
National League East? Well, I don't think there's any doubt that the Braves have the best talent, although the Expos are going to be right up on them. They still got a lot left off that team. I got to like the Braves, though.
I'm going to go with the Expos.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to stay with the Expos.
Okay, I just think the pitching that the Braves have, the starting pitching anyway, that is going to overpower everybody else.
Those kids know how to win.
Darn right.
They want to win in Montreal. They probably play as hard as anybody in baseball. And for that reason, as we're seeing more and more of that chemistry and that role, so to speak, is becoming, it supersedes talent.
Yeah.
Unless there is a big discrepancy, which there's not a big discrepancy there.
He pops this one up left side. Should blow out of play. Graybeck giving chase, and it is in the third row.
National League Central.
Central? I think Cincinnati is going to hang in with some strong contention. I like the Astros ball club, too. But I think that Cincinnati has enough to win that.
I like Cincinnati and then Houston.
In the West? Wow. Fouls that one off. Count remains full to Schaefer. Go ahead.
West.
Man.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I will never go ever, as long as things being a little bit equal, against Tommy.
Me too. Yeah.
Never, ever.
Yeah. Although you got to have some feeling for the Colorado Rockies this year.
I'm going to pick them second.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Dodgers, too, just because of Tommy. He pops that one up. Oh, Spanky's got a tough play right in front of the Cardinal dugout, and he concentrates and makes the play. So that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Beret. 2 in a row for Jason. And after 4 innings from Al Lang Field in St. Pete, Sox trail it 3-0.
The telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago White Sox. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the expressed written consent of the Chicago White Sox.
You tell them, Hawkster. Well, there's the bad news so far. Top of the 5th inning on our Southwest Airlines tail of the tape. Ozzie Guillen's going to lead things off for the good guys in black. He'll be followed by Ron Karkovice and Ray Durham. He slashes this one into the bay.
Also a reminder that pins of the 1993 American League Manager of the Year, Gene Lamont, will be given to the first 20,000 fans for the Wednesday, May 10th White Sox game against Minnesota, thanks to Ballpark Franks. Game time is 7:05, and tickets can be purchased by calling 312-831-1-SOX.
There's a good fastball at the knees. Strike 2 on Ozzie. You see when Ozzie's batting against these left-handed pitchers that he isn't really sure of. He's about 1.5 miles away from home plate. Ground ball left side. Cooper, do or die on the short hop, makes the play, and Guillen is gone.
Good pick by Scott Cooper. Well, he came a long way in '94 after getting off to such a horrendous start with Boston. Picked it up, played well defensively, came alive with the wood, Right here, you'll just see him gauge this one. Set his glove. Watch how he sets his glove right there. Stays with it. Good play.
Yeah, you got to charge that play. You back up on it, it's going to eat him up. Kark hits this one in the air right side. Out of play. Karkovice with a double his first time up. Turned on a fastball, hitting that gap in left center. Kark's got that spring average over 300 now. Ooh, comes outside. 1-1. Ooh, coming in, little cut fastball or slider. Basically a three-pitch pitcher you're looking at. And Alan Watson, Hawk mentioned, fastball about 90 miles an hour. Good changeup. And the cutter, you see it right there. I'll tell you one thing, this guy gets it and throws it. I like him. 3-1. Danny Jackson and Ken Hill were additions to this Cardinal staff that should make them better. There's a shot in the left field. The Huckaroo is 2 for 2 on his pick to click as Kark just ropes it into that corner. Good play by Gilkey holding him to a single.
Kark's looking good at the plate.
Yeah.
Looking nice.
Yeah, not a whole lot of head movement. Little open stance. You're right.
Yeah, let's check out our upcoming games for you right here over WGN. There you see next week. Back tomorrow, 7 p.m. from Comiskey Park against the Cubs. And Tuesday from Wrigley Field. Wednesday, the opener will not be over WGN at 1 o'clock. Then Thursday, the home opener against the Brewers at Comiskey Park 6. And then Friday from Fenway Park in Boston at 6.
The home of the Tankster. Ed Smith. He's got to be watching this game. There's a ground ball in the hole. Ozzie can't make the play. Off the heel of his glove in the left field. That's got to be a hit. If he can't do it, nobody can.
Well, we talked about it from game 1 about Ray Durham. It just appears to be he is one of those guys that just gets on base, whether it's base hit, the walk. Ball comes up on Ozzie right there. Indeed, that will be a hit. But he just appears to be one of those guys who is always on the base.
You know, he drove that ball through the infield, too. That ball had a lot of tremendous topspin. Looks like this infield is pretty well baked now. End of April. So here's Tim Raines. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Sox trailing at 3-0. Timmy 0 for 1. He tried to bunt for a base hit with runners at first and second in the third inning. Popped it up to the pitcher Watson, who wheeled and threw out Karkovice at second base to double up the Sox. Take him out of a potential big inning. Frank Thomas on deck. 1-0. Big Hurt once again is lurking.
Going for number 3.
Yes, sir. You know he wants it.
And he just might get it.
I wouldn't doubt it. I'll tell you, well, who do you think would be a strong contender to take his title away?
Well, it's courting. I think if Cleveland has a big year, I think Kenny Lofton.
Definitely. He's the guy I fear the most. Because that guy, pound for pound and all around, he could be the best player in baseball.
He's getting better and better and better offensively. He's already unbelievable defensively. You can't throw him out if he gets a decent jump, stealing a base. He can dominate a series from center field.
Yeah, you said it last year so great. You said he can intimidate both offensively and defensively. How about the play he made holding the runner at third with 2 outs, a shot in the center field? It looked like it would have scored anyone. He got the ball almost as it got into the outfield, and they had to hold the runner up. The next guy popped up, and Cleveland won the ball game by a run. You look at the skipper, Joe Torre, working himself into a frenzy.
It would certainly be a lot more difficult for him if Cleveland did not have a big season.
Yeah.
But if Seattle comes through out there, then of course you got to look at Junior.
Fastball up high. So the plot thickens, 3-0 to Raines.
But the nice thing from a White Sox perspective and a White Sox fan standpoint, if you had to bet your money on who it would be, it'd be number 35.
That's right. 3-0 on Raines. He'll be taking fastball right there. Now Frank would certainly be the best bet. Of course, Albert Bell was kind of overlooked last year. What a tremendous year he had. 3-1. He fouls that one into the Sox dugout. So we'll see if Gene Lamont puts these runners in motion. 3-2, 1 out. With Raines the hitter, good contact man. And they go. Ball 4. Fastball way upstairs. So they can't pitch around him this time. Well,
This
Sparky
is page
might.
2
Yeah.
of that scenario. Who's going to protect him? Actually, the guys in front can protect Frank, as we talked about, if in fact they can do their job and get on base.
That's the third walk issued by Watson this afternoon. Second time Raines has gotten the base on ball, so that'll set up Frank Thomas, who had a wicked line drive in the gap in left field. Flagged down by Gilkey in the first. He also walked. There's one down low. Devereaux's the on-deck hitter. Battle playing very shallow in right field. The other guys are deep. Frank hits this one in the air deep. Way back. Get up. Back to the warning track. The wind is going to hold that one in. Langford with the catch. Oh, Lordy. That would have probably been on that building if the wind was blowing out a little bit, or if it was just stale.
He killed that ball. Mercy. I mean, he absolutely hammered that ball.
Lord have mercy.
That might be on the westbound lane of the Dan Ryan back home in Chicago.
Without question.
That wind just howling knocked it down.
Boy, he dropped a hit on that fastball down and in and just killed it. Frank says, what a man got to do. That should have been a 4 spot right there. Cardinals got lucky with Watson.
Can't screw around with Mother Nature.
No. So here's Devereaux taking ball 1.
That ball was hurt.
There's that changeup down and in. 2-0 on Mike Devereaux.
I thought he was gone anyway.
Yeah, at first, and Langford went to the warning track. I'm sure off the bat he thought it was out of here in those palm trees. But no. Frank saying big yard. Ooh, high heater. You know, one thing about Devereaux, when he was having his super year with the Orioles a couple of years ago, Hawk, anytime they threw him anything above the waist, he smoked it. But not so last year.
No, he didn't miss it a couple of years ago. He didn't pop it up, ground it out. He hit it hard.
Yeah. Great numbers. Drove in over 100 runs. Hits this one hard in the gap in right center. Langford's not going to get this one. One hop the wall in right center. 2 runs are going to score. Here goes Devereaux digging for third. He's going to get there easily. The Sox with a 2-run triple by Devereaux. And we've got a tie ball game.
Watch his approach to this pitch. Didn't have a very good swing on his previous one. There's the ball up out over the plate. He just tommyhawks it. Watch the right hand come over, release. He just smokes it. Now there's the Devereaux swing that we were so familiar with back in 1993. Last year, for some reasons, you commented on one of the games at Camden Yards. Wimpy, I remember talking about how his swing was not the same. He was getting underneath, going down, more of an uppercut type action.
Nice job.
Breaking the action as Allen Watson will depart. The game is tied at 3, and we will be back with the numbers on the new Cardinal pitcher right after this.
For the 5th inning, Sox tied it 3-3. Mike Devereaux with a 2-run triple with 2 out. So Mike, who had been struggling 3 for 18 coming into this ball game, the nice 2-run shot in the gap in right center field. Vintage Mike Devereaux from a couple of years ago. And a new pitcher who is very tough on left-handers, Tony Fossas. No record, 4.50 earned run average in 2 relief appearances. Tony, born in Havana, Cuba, now lives in Fort Lauderdale. Last year with Boston was 2-0 with a 4.76 earned run average, used specifically to get left-handers out. Joe Torre is going to go with him here. Paco Martin, the hitter. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, a 3-3 tie. Paco fakes the bunt, pulls it back. Yeah, good play if that third baseman is back with 2 out. Get yourself a base hit and an RBI in the process.
Plus, you bring him in, give yourself a little more area down there. If it doesn't come off.
Right. You used to do that well, didn't you?
You're right.
That guy'd be on the outfield grass right now. Paco fouls that one back. I want to send out a big hello to my good buddy Ron Pence in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Oh, the guys from the Nad's Nest.
Where?
Stone Mountain.
And where?
The Nad's Nest. You wouldn't understand.
Okay. I don't think I want to.
No, you wouldn't understand these guys. Paco, he'll be up there cutting and slashing. 1-1 pitch. Fastball way up and away. Graybeck is on deck. Terry Boom Boom Bevington giving the signals over at third base. Doug Manzolino at first. Ooh, jam sandwich with a little slider. Deuces wild, 2-2, 2 out. Sox with all 3 of their tallies in this inning. Frank Thomas, a tremendous sacrifice fly that should have been out of here for a grand slam. And Mike Devereaux cleaned up the bases. 2-run triple to Fowl. Fouls that one off.
And a reminder for all Sox home games in May, children 14 and under will be admitted for $1 for any seat if accompanied by an adult who pays full price for a similar type seat. Now, these $1 tickets for kids can be purchased in advance or on the day of the game only at the Comiskey Park box office. So just dial 312-924-1000 for more information.
Good deal. That pitch is way up and away, so the count goes full. Tony Fossas has pitched for the Rangers in the major leagues. He's getting up there in age. He's 37. He got him. Fastball tailing away. Martin strikes out. That'll end the inning. Sox pick up 3, though, and we're halfway home. We're tied at 3. Eugene, tail of the tape here from Al Lang Stadium in St. Petersburg, Florida. A 3-3 tie. Sox with 7 hits. And the Redbirds with 4. A pitching change. Jason Beret is finished for the afternoon, and Estidrio Marquez, the pitcher. In 2 innings, he's given up no hits and has struck out a batter. Isidrio, 6'3", 190-pounder, 29 years old. Uh-oh. From Laredo. No, he's actually from Navajo, Sonora, Mexico. Originally pitched for the Dodger organization. Sox got him on a tray. There's a jam sandwich, and I'll guarantee you this guy's tough on right-handed hitters. Real tough. I'm bailing here, and I'm 200 feet away from him. Isidro at Nashville last year, 3-3 with a 2.83 earned run average. He had 11 saves, 63 strikeouts in as many innings. Yeah. Ground ball foul. Boy, you'd have loved to hit off this guy, wouldn't you, Hawkaroo?
Not.
I'm bailing right here. Can't keep my fanny in my seat. Yes, and it is a large one, too.
Very.
Menacing figure out there on the mound. So Isidro with that good year at Nashville getting an opportunity. Pitched in 39 games last year. Slider misses away. 63 and 2/3 innings. We mentioned the 63 strikeouts, 27 walks, 6 of which were intentional. So Brian Jordan, who had an RBI double his first time up. Oh, yes. Yeah. Like a Latin Dan Quisenberry.
You know, I hated these guys all the time, but especially in spring training, he gets 3 over. I'm grabbing some bench.
Look at that. Hey, Brian, there's a lot of guys not going to hit that pitch. Boy, that ball started off outside, just caught the outside corner at the knees. And that fanny, oh, there's a nice little slider to complement that.
You know, the only scenario that you didn't mind these guys so much was with the bases loaded.
That's right. Yeah, you could hang in there a little bit
That's
more.
Right.
Why were you always afraid to hit off these guys? Of course, Quisenberry, Kent Tekulve.
You know, that's what we talk about that throughout the course of the season so often, is that youngsters out there in Little League and Pony League and high school got to understand that big league players have fear as well.
Darn right.
They have fear, so just because there are a lot of youngsters out there who feel like, well, they're afraid at the plate, so ergo, consequently, they cannot play in the big leagues. That's wrong. 99.9% of big league hitters have fear at the plate. They just learn how to compensate for it.
You're right. There's a fly ball to right field. Should be easy for Paco Martin. So Gilkey retired, and Marquez looking very impressive with the first 2 right-handed hitters that he faced.
So if you go to the plate and you have some fear up there, you got to understand it's not all bad. But you got to be aware of it. Talk to your coach or your parents about it, and they'll help you figure out a way, a process of how to overcome it.
And don't ever think that you're the only one that was afraid up there. And I think that happens a lot with
kids. It happens too often.
Yeah. Ozzie hits this one in the air left field, so it should be an easy inning for Marquez. Well, that was easy. 1, 2, 3. We completed 5 from Al Lang Stadium. We're tied at 3.
I go have a lot of friends and relatives back home. Look at Kerry. A 3-3 tie here in the top of the 6th inning. Little Craig Graybeck will lead it off. It'll be Graybeck, LaValliere, and the Ozaru to face the southpaw Tony Fosses. Good breaking pitch coming down and in, fouled away.
You think Ozzie's going to answer this round?
Ozzie is, you know, Ozzie to me is the consummate professional. In spring training against left-handers, no chance.
Well, where do you think he'd be standing? You know, Fosses is funky, but he doesn't throw real hard. Where do you think Ozzie would be standing if, say, Randy Johnson was on the mound?
He wouldn't be in the lineup.
No.
Not spring training.
Not spring training. He might hang in there about that on-deck circle.
Tell you one thing, though, in the regular season, you put a man in scoring position.
Oh, yeah, he'll fight him.
Then he'll go up there and battle his behind off.
How about Lance against left-handers, too, now?
I tell you, I've gotten to the point I just soon have Lance against tough left-handers. I just soon have Lance Johnson at the plate, with the exception of Frank Thomas. Is anybody we got in the lineup?
Sure. He'll drive in that big run. He's gotten hits off Randy Johnson in clutch situations in the past, and you wonder how he does it. He hangs right in there.
Count hangs at the ball in 2 strikes. Let me ask you a question, Wimpy. You played 15 years in the big leagues.
I did.
You were a Two-time All-American defensive back at University of Houston in football, so that means, you know, you knew what you were doing there. Yeah.
I was.
How much better would you have been, in your opinion, if the fear factor had not been a factor? There's a ground ball back to the middle base hit by Manny Lee, who's gone in at shortstop for Ozzie Smith. Darnell Coles has gone into left field. But how much better, in your opinion?
Would I have been in what? Football?
Baseball.
Oh, in baseball? Well, I was afraid in everything I ever did, really. I don't think that really is going to improve your performance by not having any fear at all, because I think it's physically impossible.
I agree 100%. I'm glad you gave that response. I'll tell you why. So many people, as we talked about last inning, put too much into that when everybody has it. Now, again, as you stated, if you were the only one that had it, then it definitely would be a big factor.
Big problem.
As LaValliere takes a strike. I don't think it takes that much away, because once you learn how to compensate for it, then you learn how to control it, then you can go ahead and perform, even with the fear. Sometimes fear is a great motivator. Sometimes fear is a big enhancer of performance.
Darn right. And as long as you know that you're not the only guy in that situation, I think a lot of kids nowadays kind of give up baseball. A lot of great athletes out there because of the fear factor in the game, and they give it up at a very young age.
Well, what upsets me is when a coach in a little league or pony league or anywhere really gets on a kid for bailing a little bit, saying, hang in there, don't be afraid of the ball, as there's a two-hopper. Scott Cooper looks to second. Graybeck was on the move over to first, and that's out number one with Graybeck into second. That really is one of my pet peeves, because of the fact, as I was mentioning in between innings, I saw a game not too long ago where a right-hander, a tough right-hander in high school, dropped down, threw a sidearm hook, the guy bailed, and all of a sudden you heard this guy screaming at him, don't be afraid up there.
Yeah. If that guy could have hit it, he wouldn't have been in the stands or wouldn't be coaching. He'd be playing the big leagues.
Here's Ozzie, grounded to second, and he's grounded to third. Pops it up left side. Manny Lee is back. He's there. And that's out number two.
And the thing, by saying something dumb like that, the kid in his mind says, hey, I am the only one that's afraid out here.
Here's the DH this afternoon, Ron Karkovice. All he's done is gone 2 for 2, a double, a rocket, and a single, a rocket. Jams himself right there, pops it up. Scott Hema makes the catch. That'll retire the side. So the leadoff single by Graybeck goes for naught after 5 1/2, tied at 3.
On the spring, 3 innings, given up 4 hits, just 1 earned run. He has struck out 4 while walking none, so he has pitched well, trying to make this staff. He's 37 years old, 6'2", 204-pounder. Lives in Knoxville, Tennessee now.
First hitter he will face is Ray Langford. It's a slider high. Langford has flied to left. He's flied to center. Chopper, Ray Durham on the second hop. Very quickly releases it over Lyons in time for out number 1.
Nice play by Durham. He knew the speed of Langford.
And right now, let's take a look at who was hot in baseball, brought to you by Hoover. The Sox staff ace Alex Fernandez is having a terrific spring. Only 1 earned run in 12 innings, and as you see by this list, leading all major league pitchers this spring with 14 punch-outs. He got 9 the other day in 5 innings against Texas. In case you missed that.
That's good.
It's the only time he's had a runner past second base. The Sox lost that game 1-0.
Yeah.
He's ready. There's a line drive to Durham by Scott Cooper. 2 down. 12 in a row now retired by Sox pitching.
Wouldn't get a chance to talk too much about Jason Barre's performance. You throw out that second inning where the Cardinals put together 3 back-to-back 2-out RBI hits. Jason threw the ball very well. He worked the last two innings he pitched in 1-2-3 fashion, so that's a good sign.
One and one to the first baseman, Gerald Perry. Scott Heeman on deck.
Hawk, I think it's a good time now to talk about that left-handed relief situation the Sox have right now.
Go ahead and tell.
I don't think there's any doubt that Scott Radinsky is struggling at this point. So guys like Atlee Hammaker, who appears to have pretty good stuff this afternoon, coming back from a number of arm problems over the last few years. That is probably of some concern for Gene Lamont and his staff.
Well, the first time out, we had that game on TV, and Rad threw the ball well. Gave up 3 little soft base hits and 1 run. As Perry is gone, so a 1-2-3 inning. 13 in a row retired by Sox pitching, and after 6, tied at 3. As Alan Watson gets it back in.
And he was thinking about 2. He wasn't content with a single. Ray Durham looked like he got jammed a little bit. Ray's a little bit different left-handed. He's more closed. Pretty much straight up hitter. As you can see, the closed stance. Watch him turn on the fastball. Boy, he looked like a waste pitch with 2 strikes. Boy, he is quiet at the plate. Look at those hands. He just fires them forward on that inside heater. So nice job of hitting. Sox with 9 hits, and Ray Durham has 4 of them.
Here's Tim Raines. Fouls that pitch back and out of play. Rocco for 1 with a couple of walks. Warren Newson on deck. You know, talking about the left-hand relief situation for the Sox. If, in fact, Rad, who, of course, had to miss all last year with that bout with Hodgkin's disease, is a little slow in coming around, and certainly you want a left-hander out there with some experience and who can throw strikes. A contending team, is that pitch taken down low in the count 1-1. They can live with a left-hander going out there and getting beat occasionally because of base hits. But what a contending team has trouble with is when a reliever goes out there, especially a left-handed reliever, and he walks guys. So as you said, it looks like Atlee Hammaker is featuring some pretty good stuff out there today as Langford takes off. Paul popped into left field. Darnell Coles is there, and that's out number 1. And before Warren Newson, the Deacon comes up to the plate. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
Along with Tom Paciori, Ken Harrelson from Al Lang Stadium in St. Petersburg, Florida. Final exhibition game down here in the Sunshine State. Sox will board their charter after this afternoon's game, come back home. For tomorrow night, it'll be the Sox against the Cubs from Comiskey Park. Game time 7 p.m. We'll have it for you right here over WGN. And let's take a peek at our schedule. Upcoming games over WGN. Tomorrow, Tuesday, then Thursday, the season opener. We'll check that, the season opener home for the Sox against the Brewers. And then Friday from Fenway Park in Boston. Here's the Deacon. High into left field. Can of corn for Darnell Coles. And that's out number 2. That'll bring up Mike Devereaux. He's 1 for 3, but it was a biggie. A 2-out, 2-run triple back in the 5th to tie this ball game. Quick breaking pitch from Chris Carpenter. get a good lead and go. 5. Outfield bunched. As that pitch foul back. And the count 0-2. And a reminder, all fans attending the Sox games on April 27th and May 5th will receive a 1995 White Sox magnetic schedule. Compliments of all the good folks at Coca-Cola. So for tickets, just stop by the Comiskey Park box office or dial Ticketmaster at 312-831-1SOX. On the outside corner, nice pitch by Carpenter, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. There was a hit. 7th inning stretch here at Al Lang Stadium in a game tied at 3. Have that Tuesday game over WGN from Wrigley Field, and that will be a Cub telecast.
And the bottom of the 7th inning here at Al Lang Stadium. Another pitching change for the Sox. Scott Ruffcorn is coming on to work. Boy, from what we have seen, Scotty, well, that 6-point earned run average doesn't look too good. He's appeared in 3 relief efforts, 6 innings, just 5 hits, 2 walks, a couple of strikeouts, but he looked good, especially in that one game against the Rangers. Had that good sharp breaking ball. And Scott Heeman will be the first Cardinal hitter here in the bottom of the 7th. He pops this one up. That'll be out of play.
And want to send out a big White Sox hello to all the family and friends of Joe Peralt, who was one of the press room attendants here at Al Lang Stadium from Lowell, Massachusetts. Good guy. A White Sox fan and also a Red Sox fan.
He loves his Sox.
He does?
Sure. Ooh, breaking ball. Well, one thing you pointed out in the last time we saw Ruffcorn pitch, Hawk, is the fact that he's staying on top of that breaking ball. Doesn't have that arm way out in like a 3/4 or a sidearm delivery. Looks like he's stays on top of his pitcher. There's a good fastball that Heeman is way behind. Yeah, look, there's one of those planes you flew in the war.
No, that one's got a top over the cockpit.
Oh, yeah.
Mine didn't have one. I had the long scarf.
Yeah, you were dapper.
Well, you had to, you know, with the the nice Bolet sunglasses, the long scarf, little leather cap.
Tell you what, you couldn't get me on that plane, that wind today. There's a changeup from Ruffcorn that misses. 2-2 on Heeman.
That looked like one of Jack Gould's planes that he was on.
Crash Gould. Yeah, Jack. How many missions did he fly?
A whole bunch. 39, I believe.
Yeah. In that.
World War II. Combat missions.
Jack was also in World War I and the Civil War.
Yeah, but he really got into flying in World War II.
Yeah. Grounds that one foul. Be looking forward to seeing Jack tomorrow at the ballpark. Counting baseballs. There's an air show in the area. There's a ball hit off the end of the bat. Actually, pretty darn hard. It looked like it was off the end of the bat. Durham diving to his right, can't get it. So Heeman gets himself a base hit to lead off the Cardinals' 7th.
It was towards the end of the bat. In fact, from up here, when he hit it, it sounded like he broke it.
Yeah.
But he still muscles it through and by Ray Durham.
So Scott Heeman now 2 for 3 in the ball game. Well, we'll see if the Cardinals, Joe Torre wants to play a little ball here with Alan Battle, a strikeout victim, his first 2 plate appearances. Martin charging. Whoa, there's a ball tailing in on Battle. And fortunately, he got the bat in front of him.
Well, this used to be the way pitchers would attack a hitter with a man at third on a potential squeeze. They just throw it right at your head. And let you try to get out of the way. If you didn't, then they had the man at third base on a suicide if you got a piece of it.
Yeah.
And then your sphincter was so tight you couldn't do anything the rest of that bat.
Well, mine would be pretty tight right about now, too.
It would.
See if the bunt is in order. Squares. Takes a little jab at it. 0-2. So Alan Battle not having a real good afternoon. Martin's going to back up off the infield grass. He's about even with third base, just slightly in front of it. Still looking for the bunt. He's going to swing. The ball gets by Lavalier. So Heeman will scoot into second. That'll probably be called a wild pitch.
Yep.
A hard slider, just hung on to it a bit too long. So Battle now. We'll see if he tries to get him over to the right side. Ooh, fastball. Good heater. Just misses. Counted 2-2. Sox have out hit the Cardinals 9-5. Sox had a great streak going there. Hadn't given up a hit since the second inning when they got all 4 of their previous hits. 3 runs off Jason Bray. Good job by Battle. Going the opposite way, gives himself up for the team, and Joe Torre will certainly notice that. Heeman in the third with 1 out. Are you noticing that, Joe?
He noticed it.
So the Sox are going to play the infield in. Danny Schaefer, who had an RBI single in the second inning, and he scored a run also. Sox are straight away in the outfield. And in on the grass on the infield. He pops this one up. And Wyndham's going to take that one out of play. Up on the screen. Talk mentioned earlier, 330 down the lines here. Al Lang Stadium, 400 to center field, but the alleys are very deep at 388 in both right and left center field.
That's a long 388.
Yeah. Well, it's always windy here on the bay. Suicide squeeze. No, safety squeeze. And maybe nothing was on.
Galen Pitts, third
Galen
base
Pitts.
coach.
Galen Pitts played against him in Modesto, California back in 19.
You did?
Yeah.
Was he any good?
Yeah, he was a shortstop. Well, he's a lifer. One of those baseball lifers. Good to see him in the coaching ranks in the big leagues. He pops this one up. That'll be out of play also. Count remains at 0-2. It's Lou Brock at first. Well, what a great player he was.
Bob Gibson, the pitching coach.
God, I'd like to have those guys in the lineup, huh? Lou Brock looks absolutely great. Breaking ball, foul. That'll go into the White Sox dugout. Kurt Flood and Musial got to be around here someplace. There's Lou. Boy, could he get a jump. Remember, he tagged up. I was just on the outfield grass at Dodger Stadium. About 10 feet in, I called off Bill Russell. Lou tagged up because he knew what kind of arm I had. There's a pop-up. Uh-oh, Lavalier going back to the screen, and the wind will take it out of play. You never heard this story before, I know, Hawkster, so.
This is the, I think, let me see, the 17th time.
Okay. Maybe there might be somebody out there in television land that hadn't heard it. Well, anyway, he tagged up, and I gunned him down from 100 feet. Bang, bang at home.
You mean he tried?
Ha! Take that, Lou. Boy, was he fast.
A lot of people don't realize how far he could hit a baseball, too.
Yeah.
He could kill it.
Just a great player. Cubs did not make a good trade there. There's a ball hitting the gap in left center field. Tim Raines is going to make the play, but Heeman will tag, and he'll score easily. Cardinals lead it 4-3.
Oh, there's a good at bat for Danny Schaefer.
Two RBIs on the afternoon. Yeah, that really was fighting back on that 0-2 count against a tough right-hander. And Alan Battle set up this run for the Cardinals unselfishly, hitting the ball the right side of the infield. Get that runner to third with less than 2 outs. Here's Brian Jordan.
You know, in the '67 World Series against us at Fenway Park, he hit the longest home run I ever saw hit by a left-handed hitter in that ballpark.
No kidding. He turns on that one towards the gap. Tim Raines runs it down. Great play by Rock. He got a super jump on that one, taking away extra bases from Brian Jordan. But the Cardinals pick up a run as we head to the 8th inning, and they lead it 4-3.
(4-3) St. Louis here in the top of the 8th inning. A couple of changes. We'll give them to you in just a moment as Paco Martin will lead it off. Paco 0-for-3 this afternoon. Takes a strike from the right-hander, Chris Carpenter. Moving into second base for St. Louis is Trip Cromer. And moving from second over to third, in place of Scott Cooper, is Scott Heeman. That fastball out of play right side, and the count 0-2. He joined us late. Cardinals with 3 in the second off Jason Beret. Sox tied it up with 3 in the 5th. And the Cardinals just went ahead on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Danny Schaefer, knocking in Scott Heeman to take the 4-3 lead. There's a little chopper. As that's a fair ball. Schaefer could not make the play, so it'll be an infield hit for Paco.
And that's a play, too, that Schaefer's going to kick himself over. They're going to call that an error.
Oh, you can't give him an error. Running hard out there. Ball. Yeah. Face it.
Yeah. Oh, you see the high chop.
I'm going to give him a hit.
Me too. Boo, scorer.
Here's Craig Grayback. He's 2 for 3 this afternoon. There's a ground ball. Manny Lee over to Cromer. And they turn it. Nice twin killing turn by the Cardinals. Lee to Cromer to Perry.
(6-4-3) if you're scoring at home. Manny Lee does a great job squaring up those shoulders, making a good throw to second base. And Cromer, boy, I'll tell you, that was Mazeroski-like. Some quick hands at second base. That was a beautiful job by the Cardinal middle infielders.
Here's Mike Lavalier, 0 for 3. Little looper in the left field, right at Coles. He's 0 for 4. And that'll do it for the Sox. Nothing across. After 7.5, Cardinals by 1. Cardinals by 1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Darnell Coles will lead it off against Scott Ruffcorn. Takes a strike in the big right-hander. Darnell Coles. Last year, for the Blue Jays, hit .210, 4 homers, knocked in 15. Loops that one foul. Barry Lyons will not be able to make a play. And to count 0-2. Coles, 32-year-old veteran out of San Bernardino, California, now resides in Safety Harbor, Florida. Darnell does a lot of community work around Safety Harbor. Outfield, straight up. That's in the center. Mike Devereaux is there. Makes a catch, and that's out number 1. And a reminder, all fans attending the Monday, May 8th or Tuesday, May 9th games against the Minnesota Twins at 7:05. Of course, Kirby Puckett will receive a 1995 White Sox calendar. So for tickets, just dial 312-831-1-SOX. Here's Manny Lee. Manny Lee last year, of course, certainly a disappointment for Texas, although he did hit .278. A couple of homers, knocked in 38. But
yeah, he didn't throw the leather like they wanted him to.
No, the range, the leather.
Tell you what, he might be a real good utility guy, though, for the Cardinals. Yeah, why not? You know he can swing the bat. Switch hitter. Of course, on the artificial surface now, that's another story. You think about, you mentioned his range not being what it should be, so.
Well, you could say the same thing for Cal Ripken, who doesn't have good speed, but all he does is just play smart, cheats mentally. Seems like Cal's always there, whoever the ball's hit. Another foul, and the count hangs at a ball and 2 strikes. Chopper, fair ball. Barry Lyons boots it. Ruffcorn is there, but Lyons cannot control, and that'll be an error.
Well, he tried to one-hand that ball right there. If he gets down, actually, you got so much time, you can get down on one knee to make the play and be sure of it. E3.
And here's the center fielder, Jose Oquendo. Check swing strike. A reminder, on Saturday, May 6th, the Sox host the Kansas City Royals at 6:05, and the first 15,000 fans entering the ballpark will receive a Frank Thomas coin saver card. Compliments of Ameritech. So for tickets, just dial 312-831-1-SOX. That's Saturday, May 6th against the Kansas City Royals. Runner takes off. Ball popped into center field. Mike Devereaux ambles over into left center, makes the catch, and that's out number 2.
Second baseman, number 7, Trip Cromer.
So with 2 gone. Lee at first. Here's the second baseman, Trip Cromer. Trip out of Lake City, South Carolina. Can get the heat. Last year at Louisville, hit .274, 9 homers, knocked in 50.
Well, you know, with that name, he had to be from the South.
Another heater, another strike, and the count 0-2. Tripp now resides in Murrells Inlet. South Carolina.
Yep. Tell you what, he sure looks like he can turn a double play.
He did that last
Man.
inning. Big time. There's a shot foul by Lou Brock. Four runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Cardinals. 3 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors for the Sox. There goes the runner. There's a chopper. Fair ball. Paco Martin. Long peg over to Barry Lyons. In time, that'll retire the side. Nothing across. No hits. 1 error. 1 left after 8. Cardinals by 1. Barry Lyons leads off the top of the 9th inning. 4-3 St. Louis. Pitching change for the Cardinals. A right-hander, Rene Arocha. Rene, that unusual story coming out of Cuba.
Why don't you tell us about it?
Everybody knows about it.
I bet you there's some guys that don't know. Look, good numbers right here. 0-1 with a 1.80 earned run average. 5 innings, 4 strikeouts, just 1 hit and 1 run along with a walk.
Well, he was a celebrated Cuban pitcher who defected as that's called strike 3, and that's out number 1. Who defected to the United States last year with the Cardinals. 4-4, 4.01 ERA, but he was the one that was supposed to have so many different pitches. It was very interesting story, Wimpy, and I'm sure that you read it, but you have forgotten about it.
Oh, I remember he came over here, but I didn't get the particulars. Does Fidel know he's gone?
Yes, Clark Vice. Clark 2 for 3, a sharp double and a sharp single. He also has popped a second.
Whoa. Man, that was nasty right there. Split finger pitch. That's one of those numerous pitches you were talking about. Wow.
Two-one pitch. Breaking ball, and the count 2-2. Ray Durham on deck. Whoa, close pitch, didn't get it. Just did get a piece of it. Cardinals 3 in the 2nd, 1 in the 7th. Sox with all 3 of their tallies in the 5th inning. High into center field. Jose Akendo. He's back. He's there. Basket catch. 2 gone.
Whoa.
And let's check out today's Miller Genuine Draft Light play of the game coming in the 5th inning. Sox trailing 3-1. Mike Devereaux at the plate, Wimpy.
And a good job of hitting by Devereaux. We talk about him being a good high ball hitter. Well, he ropes this one, hands above the ball. 2 runs scored, and that tied the score at 3 at that point.
Here's Ray Durham. Hitting .417 on the spring. He's 4 for 4 this afternoon. Fouls that pitch away. Just misses. And the count 1-1. Also a reminder, our next game coming your way over WGN will be tomorrow night from Comiskey Park. The Sox and the Cubs.
You think we're capable of doing a night game after a day game?
Yes.
All right.
I know it's tough on you, old
We'll
timer.
be here.
Whipperoo's getting a little long in the tooth. Out in front of the mound. Arocha has it over to first, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning as the Cardinals win it 4-3, and we'll be back to wrap it up right after this. Final totals for this afternoon's ball game for the Cardinals: 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. They stranded 3. For the Sox, 3 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. They left 7. The winner, Chris Carpenter. He's 1-0. Roughcorn takes the loss 1-1. Arocha picks up his second save, and Wimpy and I'll be back with some final words right after this.